I'm going to talk about 1985's Witness, starring Harrison Ford. It's a police procedural. It's a thriller. It tells the story of Harrison Ford. He's an East Coast cop. It could be Chicago, in and around New York. It's all tall and grey and rainy. So it's that part of the world, Washington, and an Amish family come to town for the rare reason that the Amish are a bunch of settlers. They have the long beards and they reject technology. They're Luddites, and they basically live off the grid. They build their own houses, they farm their own food, and they live quietly outside of the confines of modern society, even today. And this is the 80s, so the only thing they're missing is television and a house phone. It would be much stranger today being without an iPhone and all the things, the luxuries we have today. They come to a big train station, and a small child, goes to the bathroom where it appears the mob kill a man. And the child gets a clear look at who did it, and it's Danny Glover. He's really big. Danny Glover's about 6'4" with dark complexion. And of course, the police show up and they interview the child who's clung to his mother. They're out of depth, they're out of element, and they're interviewed. Of course, these guys are up to their knickers in the mob, and it transpires the whole police station is riddled with police corruption. Harrison Ford then decides to take the child under his wing, and as he realises they've nowhere to go, without spoiling the plot, he has to return to the Amish community, and that's kind of what the film is about. And the film is about contrasting worlds, but it's not really about contrasting worlds when you watch it today. It's about contrasting morality, the busyness, the hurriedness, the anxiety of a big city life, which I think everybody can identify with today because, American materialism and capitalism has swept across the whole world. The 15-minute city. We live in a time of country breaks as opposed to binge and drink. And the Amish just live this tranquil life of peace and hard work. Harrison Ford himself was a carpenter. That's how he got the Han Solo gig, apparently, fixing a shelf for George Lucas. And he becomes immediately enamored by the tranquility of this other world. And it hardens his resolve, it hardens his morality to do the right thing. Which, of course, is stand up to the bad guys. So I won't tell you too much because you'll want to watch it. The film takes its time. It looks great. The intercutting between scenes, the hurriedness of the city scenes, the way it's shot and cut. He's clearly highlighting that Peter Weir is an Australian director. Harrison Ford seems to be his most, at least as we imagine himself. When you watch him in interviews, he's not fussy. He's not in a rush to talk. He's not in a rush to carry the conversation. Whether that's him or he's just a veteran of interviews and also to manage them, I don't know. But there's a love story within it, which is a great love story because a good love story requires a good reason for two people that are in love not to get together. And him being from the East Coast city fella and this Amish woman, a beautiful woman, I can't recall her name. There's a strong attraction to them, there's a strong draw, but there is a curiosity as a film fan, a fan of drama, to go, how's this going to work out? Like seeing two people get together and go, I don't know if they're a match. Will it work? But there's obvious chemistry there. There's always a delight in watching that unfold. Of course, the drama kicks in, the plot moves forward, and it finishes in the Amish world. There's lots to look at. The film is patient, but it's really enjoyable. It's of its time. It looks great on film. Harrison Ford is great. He's very masculine, very aloof, out of place in both worlds. But the sense of him settling and is worth it. But by the time you begin to relax, you're kind of surrendering to the removal of his agitation, his tranquility, his transcendence into something else. There's some comic scenes of awkwardness where he's trying to figure out this new world. And there's the trust, the drama. Danny Glover is great, very villainous. For anybody who wouldn't have seen him like this, that would remember him only from Lethal Weapon, will get some joy from that. It's an old film. If you track it down, it's worth a watch. Harrison Ford is very watchable, very natural. Like this part of his personality that he surrendered to just comes across so honestly, and it's a great little flick with lots of delicious visuals, and I think you would enjoy it.